Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy, Alexander Newsome with an epic beard. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Really quick before we go dive into the charts up there in my office, my studio, I wanted to let you know that this Saturday we are going to be in Chicago for a real life trading meetup. We're doing some apple picking and I did change the time a little bit. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern this Saturday. Sammy. So the link to where we're going to be is in the description box below. Feel free to message me or let me know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, let's hop into some charts. Let's look at this beautiful bullish market and talk about some beautiful swing trades and some awesome earnings gaps. Let's do this. And here we go, looking at some charts. SPY, guess what? Making another all-time high today. Very obvious retest gap, I feel like, right? Just two white candles in a row. We gapped up to an all-time high. We've never been this high before. We're extended. We haven't bounced off of any moving averages. I think it makes sense that we sold off a little bit today. Is this the very top of the market? No. Here's the 5-minute chart, and you'll notice we did, well, what's the term called? Oh yeah, retest. We retested the retest gap. So we traded down, you got a really nice hammer candle here, good pop there. Then you got a Morningstar reversal pattern that was also a tweezer bottom pattern. Entry there, stop there, nice little poppage, right back to the high of the day. And then it made a new all-time high. People are like, oh, this is finally confirmation. They got on bullish there and then they got stopped out because they literally waited way too long to get in bullish. So that's the SPY, not really much to talk about. We slowly and more than likely will creep higher, but today's candle is a little bit of a warning signal on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being, hey everyone, go to cash, and 1 being, how are you not on a bull right this second? I'm probably at like a 6.1, more or less, a little bit more bearish, short term, very short term. Me and Karen both expecting something like this. When I mentioned Karen, I'm just talking about the amazing lady who wrapped up Class 8 of Futures program just last night. You just got an email for it earlier today. It's also on the Real Life Trading .com home website. Just upload that video. Once this loads, we'll get that pulled up and you'll be able to see it, but it did go out. My website's not this slow, it's my internet, my computer. I'm exporting another video right now actually. So anyway, here's the Class 8 right there under newest articles. Some interesting discussions last night in class in the chat pane and some very fun questions. The topic and discussions of text message alert services came up for future trading, which had me scratching my chinny chin. I think it's a very interesting concept. For those of you who are watching this video either on YouTube or if you prefer email, let me know if a real life futures trading text message service, even if that sounds appealing to you, if that's something that you are interested in. Obviously, as you know, futures go a long time. They're not just 9:30 to 4. They're often throughout the day. So doing a webinar for 24 hours a day, theoretically, I do have to sleep, and so do other humans. So I think that a webinar for that time period probably wouldn't be the best fit, but a text message alert service sounds interesting, and if it works, who knows? Maybe it could get rolled out to other services like Forex or cryptocurrencies or maybe even the stocks and options. Anyway, just let me know what you guys think. Is text message alert service, is that even something you're remotely interested in? I'm just asking. What do I know? All right, so anyway, that's the SPY. New all-time highs today, retesting, waiting for that dip, and then I'll buy it. Qs, exact same thing. Bunch of white candles, gapped up to a new all-time high today, and yeah, sold off. Shocking. Here's the IWM, a little bit of a bounce around the 10, and then the Dow Jones ETF also made another just blisteringly strong bullish gap. Yeah, I know, folks. I know, everyone's like, when the heck is this market going to pull back? I'm with you on that question. I think it's a very valid question. We'll talk more about it at some point in the future. Yeah, a pullback makes sense. It's getting almost comical at this point. One of the strongest bullish markets I've ever experienced ever. is 2017, and we are just rip-roaring on the Dow right now. Yeah, a pullback would make sense. However, right now, whatever pullback happens, I'm going to be buying it. Buy the dip, folks. The trend is still bullish. It's bullish until it's not bullish. Meaning, yeah, try it, and if you lose a little bit of money, that's fine. Turn right around. You can reanalyze, reconfigure, replan, and reattack. Got some requests for today. Not a lot, though. Here's ticker symbol ATVI, Activision Blizzard. And Activision, one of those stocks that is a little up there. So this is the weekly chart, and we're chilling on the 20 EMA right now. Interesting thing, we have an inside week candle presently. Now, again, it is only Wednesday. I don't think we're necessarily going to close like that. But if we do, great pattern for breaking really either direction on Activision. Yes, the trend is very bullish, and yes, the bullish bounce makes the most sense, right? Be long, that's the trend. But if we do start breaking down, below the support of 60.52, I'll be just a smidge bearish because you're also right at the 100. So you're at the 100, you're at the 20 EMA on the weekly, you're kind of below all the moving averages, earnings are around the corner. Activision, it would be very healthy if it pulled back, oh, I don't know, 15, 20%. Right now it's working on a 10% pullback, which is fine. That's all it needs. From here, it could just crush it. But, you know, if it does break and close below the 60.42 level, I'll be a little bit more bearish and bullish. And so all I'm saying is I think you can have another few days to wait and see what happens. LRCX, my good buddy Christian texts me on this one a lot. Lamb Research, and this stock is tearing it up. Had earnings today, and it was a bullish gap and go. Bearish candle, gapping up. Check out this 5-minute chart on Lamb Research. Just throw it out there. I did not personally take this trade. Here is the extended hours time frame. In the extended hours time frame, what's really interesting about this one is the pre-market resistance, or as I like to say, resistance. Here's the pre-market resistance right there. And we never closed above that. The second 5-minute candle got a giant upper shadow. Third 5-minute candle got a giant upper shadow. Now, that doesn't mean you couldn't have taken the trade. Let's say you got into the trade here. But the question is, where do you place the stop? I mean, you get this massive candle. If you place your stop down here, that's cool. But that's like $4 of risk. I mean, do you really think it's going to move $8 in order for you to get to a 1 to 2 risk-reward ratio? Right, you got to ask yourself that question. Where does the stop go? And if you did place the stop down there and you got stopped out, hey, that's totally fine. At some point, you'll notice a very cute little rally. Right, we trade down to support. Let me turn off the long-term moving averages. I don't really ever use them for short-term stocks. There we go. We trade down to a support. I mean, you'll see the pre-market support level. We got close to it. We didn't quite get down there, but it was a bullish gap. So you would have been looking for a bullish trade, I feel like. There's the pre-market support. Trades up, trades down. I would love to say that I would have played this double bottom. And I might have if I was watching it, but I didn't. There's the low. There's the close below the neckline. There's the retest right there. But what I could have said is this little resistance right here, very nice resistance, nice breakout. That's a great place right there to be looking for a long on Lamb Research. And I probably would have traded it right into here, stop right there. It would have been a good, healthy 2R trade. Yes, I missed all of this. And I would have missed the vast majority of this more than likely, but I would have captured this. And I think it's Jesse Livermore said the first 1/8 and the last 1/8 of a move are the most expensive to catch, right? So just be happy with what you do, snag from time to time. Here is another request, MTW, Matawak. And MTW, what is this chart on the daily? Let me get this pulled up. MT dubs. All right, let me go to a weekly chart. I don't see this stock very often, but it does look like it was in a nice accumulation phase. Yeah, you're getting some good volume. I think this looks like a good buyable opportunity. Let me just kind of really zoom out here. This large candle will likely slowly get filled more often than not. Keep zooming. Wow, there's a lot of data on the screen. The support resistance that my eyes find first is really this one. Let's see if I can draw it right there. Based on this guy, specifically this guy, and then that person right there. So that was like the support resistance level that I'm first witnessing or seeing. And then the second one would be that one there. So my thought is, any kind of nice little dip pullback would be buyable and then trade up into about this $12 region. Not a very expensive stock. And yeah, Here's the daily time frame. Daily time frame, let me just go look at the long-term moving averages, see where they're at. We're probably above them, or at least should be. I think the most reasonable pullback would be about 843. It does look like you had a strong gap and go that is getting filled. All right, bearish candle gapping up. It broke that within 3 days, which is a little bit of a weaker sign. I think this one pulls back some more, and if it can pull back into 843, hashtag buy the dip. Should be pretty good. I like it. Just a quick review. I was mentioning yesterday, and I did post this on our YouTube channel, the Tech Giant Tuesday, for those who subscribe. It was posted yesterday for about an hour, hour and a half as a little bit of a freebie. IBM crushed. Very nice gap up, huge volume. There's a lot of crypto chatter going on with IBM right now as well. They had good earnings. It was a very strong gap and go. Everyone right here was trapped. It gapped above this previous bearish gap, which was also a strong bearish gap and go. It gapped above this gap. These purple lines are some long-term moving averages, and IBM does respond well to long-term moving averages. Here's my thought on the matter. If we can hang out within this range, right, within these long-term moving averages for, let's say, a week or so, dividends are coming up, but I think it could really crush out of here nicely. IBM, an interesting and a new contender. I say new, not as age, but in just stock charts. Very good gap, very good volume. This could be a phenomenal opportunity to start looking into some longer-term positions on IBM, International Business Machines. Again, here's the weekly chart. So yes, the 200 will be a little bit of a weekly. We could pull back a little bit farther, but as long as we don't take out the low of this candle, which I know is kind of a far away, but as long as we don't take out that low, long term, there's something really interesting on IBM with this kind of volume and this kind of gap at this particular location, especially getting involved into the super scary and super risky cryptocurrency space. So I kind of like that on IBM. Here is La Quinta. So exit out of La Quinta this morning for a very small gain. Happy to do that. Because again, I was talking about yesterday, I just feel like the market needs a quick drop and I want to lock in some profits. So we did that with La Quinta at open. Did the same thing on AMD. So AMD this morning, nice lower shadow overall. Very nice lower shadow. In fact, this is a solid retest. I think AMD could easily go higher, but I did want to just lock in some gains I had on paper on AMD. And then the other one was Carnival Cruise Line, Circus Symbol CCL. Got out of that one at open as well. So small profits, right around 3R for those. Still have some spreads expiring profitable this Friday. First Solar will be one expiring worthless Friday, I'm hoping. And then the other one is just a put sale on PETS, Pets, which had a very nice pop today. Potential double bottom earnings coming up on PetMed Express. Feel free to keep that one on your checklist as well. Last but not least, here's Apple. My buddy Jason Smith getting in some January calls today. I like the inside day candle. Very weird, very rare that we would see a retest right here on Apple after what is commonly referred to as a retest gap. We'll probably trade sideways, hang out for, a few days to a few weeks max, I would think. We come in here and then potentially we bounce. Obviously earnings about 2.5, 3 weeks away. Very interested to see what happens on Apple earnings. My guess is they probably do well in earnings. They make billions. They gap up into about 164. They trade back down and eventually we break out of there. Or maybe we gap down a little bit on earnings because, they still made billions, but just it wasn't as many billions as people thought. We gap down some. We're a little bearish and then it pops and goes higher. Obviously, most earnings are a question. Most earnings can change the scope of a chart in a heartbeat. I don't think it's going to be that way for Apple long term. Obviously, the most profitable, biggest company in the world. So, buy the dip. Ladies and gentlemen, I got dinner tonight with Sharon and her husband, Donnie. Other than that, Friday, I'll be broadcasting with a stock review from Indianapolis. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be in Chicago this weekend. Get at me if you have any questions. Faith, excited to see you. Folks, you rock. And until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.